The truth is out there, but so are lies.
Hanging at a restaurant in Mexico. What is it?
Well, there's so much Mexican folklore, right? Like it's from a restaurant in Mexico, right? Is what it the post says, something like that. And
Yeah.
there's so much like folklore. There's so much like urban legends, and it's
Let
like
me know. Tell me what
every well, this to me this looks like a chupacabra, like that. I don't know if it's like a demon or what it is, but someone said that they put this out, that chupacabra exists because the Mexican government just needed, you know, the mass media to focus on something else except, besides the cartel and the whole corrupt government and everything, and then they created or orchestrated a chupacabra that is goes blood sucking goat killer, or blood sucking, like, this is what it is, looks like it. And I've personally never seen it. I've never known anybody to see it. I've never had any family members in Mexico say they've experienced it, but everyone knows about it. Like, yeah, it's like a demon dog or a demon. It just looks, I don't know, and this resembles that. And
Okay.
you read the comments and they all are like, yeah, this is this, but it's an urban legend or folklore. Or, I couldn't tell you, but it
So
does
do you
have
think they
creepy
exist
vibes.
or do you think the government fabricated the story?
I think the government fabricated the story, as much as like I
Ooh.
believe in bipedals, but I actually believe they created it, put it out there, did all the mutilations, and to try to derail the problems that were truly happening in the country at the time, with the corrupt politicians, corrupt government, the increased crime, the drug cartels, um, the cahoots that they have with the United States, the North American free trade agreement that was actually really affecting Mexico, the benefits that they did not get from the free trade agreement. And I think that's what was really happening. And the government, orchestrated either by Mexico or the United States, threw this out there to try to like derail that, because there started being political issues with it. And I don't know, I like tinfoil hat on, but that's my humble opinion on it.
Man, that's wild. Like how do you start to fabricate and plant a story like that, I guess is where I'm interested. You
I
know,
don't know.
like
That's like one of
do you
those
know the
things. Is just
history of Chupacabra? Do you,
no, I
do you know
don't.
like
I don't
when it
know.
showed up?
It started sometime in like the '90s, I believe.
Really?
And
It's that
yeah,
late?
sometimes, yeah, it's late.
No kidding, because I mean, I've heard stories of it growing up, right? I mean, I was born in the 80s,
Yeah,
so about
it's
the 90s is when my
legend,
brain's
gut
ready.
soaking. Yeah, 1995 is the first like known thing.
Hey, can we make up a cryptid and like actually, you know,
Get
get
famous
it
from
out
it.
there? Yeah, let's do it. That'd be fun.
Oh man, bro. Well, yeah, 1995, and then you could say it's because of like how the transition between the drug cartel, let's say, what's Pablo Escobar,
Mhm.
like the rise of like the switch of power, like Narcos, a TV show on Netflix that covers that, like the switch of powers, and all of that violence and all of that drug came to Mexico, and this is where it's like that rise of that started happening, and all the super corruption. Like Mexico's always been a very corrupt country, like government wise, right? The drug cartels and the drug problem, and then feeding the United States drug problem that we have, it is because of that direct effect. And they said that to derail that, they fabricated the chupacabra. I do not know where I heard this theory or how I came up with it, because it is not my theory. And I heard this. This is what they believe. Like, I don't know who I heard this from. It might even been like a college professor.
I mean, it's really interesting to think about it as a psyop, right? A cryptid
Yeah.
as an actual psyop. And the things that I would be curious about would be what the intent, like, what's the desired outcome, right? Because, like, if you make up a boogeyman, right? It's kind of like you're gonna get like some people who believe in it, some people who don't, and maybe yeah, the newspaper is like showing some articles on it from time to time, but I don't think it would take up like that much space, like personally, to mask uh, something that the cartel was doing. Now, maybe I don't know. Maybe they would use it to cover like if they like actually I don't I hate to say this, but if they slaughtered some people, and they blamed it on the cryptid, right? Like that's
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing, and then the news covered it as a different kind of thing. So there's like a lot of twist in there, is what I'm saying, right? Maybe I could see that being a path.
Well,
but-
here's the thing, right? Like, I don't know if I remember I told you that here in our forest there had been sightings of a cryptid. Like, they said that it was like a werewolf. I don't know if I told you this.
Oh, which forest?
Angeles National Forest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There had been spottings of a werewolf, like in our forest here, right? So what it ended up being is multiple people started reporting it. They were getting calls to the sheriff's department. I don't know if I shared the story with you, right?
Yeah, keep going.
So Game and Fish finally, because they said people had said that they had spotted wolves out here, right? And they had noticed that the wolf was already migrating down from this. It had been spotted in Sierra Nevadas. So Game and Fish came out here and they tracked it. They found it, and what ended up being it was a bear with mange.
Yeah.
So if you look bear with mange, dude, it looks like a werewolf. If you're if you're driving at night and you see this thing running, it looks like a werewolf. Now, the chupacabra, they're saying that it could be actually a wild dog with mange too, and that could be easily planted and make even this urban legend even more factual, than fictional. It's like it's just Mexican cultures. I hate to say it as a Mexican, is we're gullible. We eat this. Like, why do I love UFO? Like alien
Hey, I love
stuff.
it too. I love it too.
Ghosts,
Man.
like it's like culturally in my DNA to like love this stuff. Like, I guess just like the fantasy, the fiction behind it maybe, and I think it's just like we're really, you know, I don't know. We're open to it, I guess, or we welcome it and invite it in our culture. Like, we celebrate the Day of the Dead, like
Right.
culturally, so it's like it's in our culture.
Well, I think this thing hanging at the restaurant looks super cool. If it is a chupacabra, cool. If it's just a cool little monster that they made, also cool.
It's a piñata. That's what it is.
Is it a pinata?
I think it is.
I mean, it looks like it's being hung. Like it looks like it's got a noose around its neck to me. Also, you know what? It looks like it's from Skyrim to me. It doesn't look like, you know what I mean? Like, look at the inside of the building. It looks like it's a video game.
But they're saying that it's albrije. It's also like folk art. It's like a mythical creature.
Well, super cool. And if I saw it at a restaurant, I would definitely take a picture of it too.
Yeah, it's like it's culturally in our part of us. But yeah, like I think it's psyops, as you said. Just crazy to think about.